A Virginia elementary school is claiming the kids wrote this song, which they sang. But nobody's really buying this, and including biggovernment.com Andrew Breitbart. He joins us now. Andrew, we've talked about some pretty crazy stuff. But third graders? And this is, not written by a third grader? Nobody buys that, right?
This is part of a continuum. This group's name is Kid Pan Alley. Everybody Google Kid Pan Alley.
I saw this, yeah.
And you'll see a treasure trove from Kid Pan Alley. I don't know if you remember the great album from the 1970s by Marlo Thomas, Free to Be You and Me.
I got to say, I don't remember that one, but go ahead.
Oh, it was fantastic. But it was super hippy-dippy and had all those social justice, economic justice, feel-good feelings. But Kid Pan Alley is now going into second grade and third grade and quote-unquote writing songs with these kids. But these songs are clearly written by the people who have an ideology at Kid Pan Alley, and it's not just Occupy that they've been writing about. In Hawaii, Kid Pan Alley created an apocalyptic song that basically said that you'd have to walk to Japan because of global warming, because of obviously the water would be lost in the in the ocean.
What happened? Come on, people now, let's smile on your brother. Everybody get together. I mean,
it's not that. First of all, the biggest problem here is that these are public schools, and Kid Pan Alley has infiltrated the public school system in Virginia. That's a huge problem. So Governor McDonnell, I hope you're listening here. This is why people send their kids to parochial schools or homeschool them, because nobody's watching over these organizations that are funded not just by the government, which is deeply problematic, by organizations like the Grieve Foundation, which have ties. The guy who runs the organization is an admitted communist. And so it sounds like hysteria, it sounds like the Red Scare, but all you have to do is look up this foundation. All you have to do is look up Kid Pan Alley, and they have an intention to undermine the capitalist order, and they're starting with second graders. It couldn't be more insidious.
Yeah, I'm reading the one here. You're here by my side, don't need it all. I'm so happy to be part of the 99. I guess the thing that I most object to is, for goodness sakes, these are third graders. The idea that, you're using this sort of exploitive language and you're using this sort of class warfare thing, that doesn't have a place in any school, anywhere. And then to say, well, this is just art, it's third graders, isn't it?
Yes, but the problem is that conservatives are so fundamentally naive as to the intentions of the far left and even communists and socialists. They called it the long march through the institutions, and they think that they can brainwash kids at that level. Obama's safe school czar, Kevin Jennings, had a group that taught kindergartners, first graders, second graders the most radical aspects of sexuality, handed them reading lists that normalized deviant sexual behavior. It sounds outrageous, but the guy was turned into the Obama American safe schools are. These people feel that it's incumbent upon them to snatch the minds away from the parents, and that the government is going to tell them what the proper values are.
All right, so, you're calling this brainwashing. That's a strong word. I think this is incredibly poor taste, has no business to be in schools. But you say that this is not the first time. This has happened many times. And what's our solution here? How do we get out of this?
It's to defund these groups and disconnect them from government institutions. If local schools, alternative schools, want to have Kid Pan Alley and parents agree to have this type of curriculum, I'm totally fine with that. But do not go into the public schools and indoctrinate people. That's why people are pulling their kids out, because Governor McDonnell, people like Governor McDonnell, do not have the courage to go after these mental thugs.
All right, well, on Power and Money we do. So thank you for sharing this one for us. That's just mind-boggling to me. Thank you, Andrew. All right. Just when you thought you had heard every ridiculous